Using AI is making it easier than ever to find success selling on Amazon. But with so many ways to use it, you have to know the actual best applications for AI in your Amazon business. So today I'm revealing some of the biggest AI hacks I use in my $6 million Amazon business, starting with one that makes it really easy to identify if a product is going to be worth selling or not. So whether you source your Amazon products at the store or online, you can use artificial intelligence to find the product. So right here you can see I'm scanning this Pokemon set. This is actually something I invest in long term, but on SellerAmp, I can use AI image analysis, and you can see as I pop it up here, I'm going to say analyze. And then now that the data has loaded in on this, I can see actually two different listings for where I'd be able to sell this product. You can see this top one sells better, and the bottom one seems like it's probably the same listing. And in some cases, you'll see listings that are actually more expensive, or you'll see listings show up that are multi-packs, bundle listings, things that are not typically super easy to find, but using SellerAmp's AI image search makes it really simple. This is especially helpful if you like to do retail arbitrage. You don't have to worry about items where the barcode might be covered up or there isn't a barcode that's super obvious. That's going to make it really easy to scan products in person. And if you'd rather source products online, that's what I definitely prefer to do. You can also use SAS AI image search, and you can see it's automatically going to pull a bunch of the information about that product and search it on Amazon. So you can see all of those similar search results for this like vitamin type product, for example. So you can see here's the 180 soft gel selling on Amazon for about 16 bucks. So you can know without having to switch back and forth to Amazon here that there's probably not too much potential on an item like this. And then another really good AI image hack I like to use is actually through Google Lens. So a lot of this is powered by AI. If you just right click and then search with Google Lens, you can see it's going to show me all of the places on the internet where it is able to see this picture. And a lot of times I use this to help me find the actual Amazon listing. If I'm having trouble finding it through SellerAmp or searching it on Amazon, or for whatever reason, maybe the title is very weird, you can see like right here, it shows me the Amazon listing. And I believe, yeah, it's going to take me to the same listing that we're able to find with SellerAmp. But then you also have to think about the power of using this to find things that you're looking at an Amazon listing and you want to find all the potential sources for. Obviously, in this case, it's going to be from Vitacost. It's a Vitacost branded product. But when I'm selling things like clothes and shoes and toys, those are things that are all over the internet. So it's going to show me all of those different sources when I just click Google Lens right here. So in this case, it's just going to show me eBay, Vitacost, and Amazon, which makes sense. It's just Vitacost and the resale markets. But you're also going to see a lot of potential for sourcing using AI image searching. So if you don't already have SellerAmp to power your Amazon business, that's just one reason. Make sure you grab a 2-week free trial down below. And that's going to take me on to AI application number 2, because especially as a new Amazon seller, it can feel really scary to go out and buy products, even if it's only $100, 50 bucks. That's a big deal. And I know it was for me when I was starting out on Amazon. So you can actually use AI to basically help you know if a product that you're about to buy is a good idea or not. And by the way, I've still got some hacks that I'm going to show you guys to actually source your own profitable products, but I want to show you some things that just make the job easier as we build up to actually sourcing products with artificial intelligence, right? So on this item, if you're a pro Amazon seller, you can probably read this Keepa chart right down here and know if this is going to be a safe listing or not. But I know we can all benefit from having something to bounce ideas off of and just justify if we're actually making a good decision. So that's where you can actually use ChatGPT's ability to analyze images and especially just be able to analyze things like Keepa charts. So I went ahead and took a screenshot of that Keepa chart. So if you are that type of seller where you feel like you use some help analyzing the products you're looking at, you can just use a prompt that's similar to this. I've tried different variations of this, and usually I get some good insights from ChatGPT. And I will generally say I usually agree with almost everything that it says, as well as someone who's been selling on Amazon for about 6 years. Every now and then it might say something that's a little bit weird, but I agreed with the analysis of this product. I wanted to see what it thought about it, right? So it was able to say, hey, this is pretty consistent. It doesn't drop very often. Price is very stable. When there were price drops, it even notices that the price goes back up. So it's a resilient item, it's saying. And then right here, I'd say is like the only mistake I noticed it made. It thought that the rank got worse when really the rank got better. You guys can see that the sales rank was actually going down closer and closer to 1, but it was still able to analyze this product pretty well. It's taking into account how many new sellers are going to be around. It notices, hey, there's actually less sellers, so it's positive for price stability. I think it does a really solid job of analyzing these items with you. And as far as the overall kind of outlook, that kind of thing, you could obviously make it even explain more detail. You can make it explain less detail if you just want a simple answer. But I agree here, right? So looking at the Keepa chart, I also noticed the same thing. New sellers going down, price is very stable. And ChatGPT also agrees with me. As somewhat of a veteran Amazon seller, looks pretty stable, pretty unlikely the price will go down. So as long as you're profitable at that price point right there, then you'd be happy selling this type of item. Now, if we compare this to the analysis analysis we need to do on something like a backpack, I was curious how it would think about items that are obviously seasonal. You want to consider all the different factors that come into play when you are sourcing an item. So on this, I noticed that the sales rank is massively dipping down, but so is the new offer count. So I was really curious what its opinion on this product would be. So I went ahead and uploaded that Keepa chart. I gave it a little bit of context to let it know it's a backpack, so it'll know about the seasonality that I'm hoping that it can analyze. And again, it's saying, all right, price is somewhat stable. New sellers is, again, going down here, it's saying again, all right, it looks pretty stable, fluctuations in price. And then it's also smart enough to realize that it's selling a lot faster, and it knows that it's because of seasonal reasons here. Skipping to the good part, I wanted to know, is this a safe item to sell? And I totally agree here, right? It's very safe for the next 1 to 2 months to sell a backpack. I'm filming this right at the end of July, so you can obviously know that buying backpacks is extremely safe. We're just at the beginning of back to school shopping season, right? But long term, expect them to slow a lot, might take longer to sell, and it thinks it's unlikely to crash, which we'd see how that plays out. But I probably agree here, right? You can see even in past years, the price has gone maybe a little bit lower after back to school, but it always stays at that more kind of stable price point. And then if you want even more detail, you could even press it further. So should I FBA or FBM these? Because it has a lot of information about the right way to sell on Amazon. So we'll see what it says here. So on the drink mix, I totally agree. It says we need to FBA, and it's even smart enough to know that most of the sales are going to FBA sellers. So totally agree. Got to go FBA here. It's very kind of consistent product. Right here, it says that FBA is better in the short term, but FBM might make sense if you can ship fast. You're able to get some stuff with no storage risk after September. Do pretty much agree here. I would probably lean more towards FBM, but again, it's got valuable insights for your business, and it's a free tool, right? So no reason not to be using this as a free way to get some help, especially when you're thinking about these new things, running a new business. It can be really nice just to have a second opinion. And that's where I want to get to probably my favorite application of AI, which is actually just using it to feed you a ton of sourcing ideas, right? So what I did is I went ahead and asked Chat. I said, hey, looking for some brands that sell on Amazon. I want to buy them at other websites, kind of the basics of online arbitrage, right? Let's make a list of brands that are sold at JCPenney, Walmart, etc., that also have lots of listings on Amazon, right? And the reason why this is valuable is anyone who's selling literally any of these brands here, they have to be sourcing directly from JCPenney, right? So if they're selling like St. John's Bay, they have to be sourcing from JCPenney. If they're selling mainstays, they have to be sourcing from Walmart. So what that means is all of the products on their store are probably available from some kind of website. Even if it's not JCPenney, we're going to know as we start sourcing all of the different brands here and all of the different sellers on them all have opportunities for us to go out and source. And so let's run with that example of St. John's Bay, because I know when I was a new Amazon seller, it felt really overwhelming to figure out what to sell, what brands to sell, what categories, right? So let's use AI to make that as simple as possible. Because when we search St. John's Bay, I'm just specifically going to check out some of these listings. So here we got like these like pajama pants or something like that. Again, we know that whoever is buying these just objectively have to have bought these from JCPenney. Let's see, there's only one seller on this listing. They have, it seems like, 0 feedback. So they're a pretty new Amazon seller, and they've got something like 40 or so products, right? So it makes total sense. This person's probably just getting started on Amazon, which means any of the products that they're selling, you're also going to be able to sell. So no excuses as far as like you need to get ungated and that kind of thing. This new seller figured it out, so can you. And as we're digging through these storefronts here, and so as we start digging through these storefronts, that's where it just becomes the fundamentals of selling on Amazon, where we need to figure out how to identify what product is not worth selling on Amazon as fast as possible. The faster we can skip to things that seem like they might be good to sell on Amazon, the more we're going to make. And that sounds simple, but it's a really simple mental shift, right? So all of these I see Amazon is selling, so they're super, super quick to scroll past. Here's our first item where, you know, Amazon's not on it. There's third-party sellers selling it, so we'd be able to hop on here as well, but it's only selling 10 times a month. Just out of curiosity, we can go ahead and search this. I'm not sure it's going to be profitable, and even if it is, I want to sell things more than that per month. I'm not seeing it initially. I was just curious if we could get a quick example there. So let's keep on chucking along. We got this like a black V-neck t-shirt. We need to buy it for $8.66. Again, it's a slow seller. We can buy it for 10, and we could actually probably buy this profitably. And I will actually go ahead and introduce you to that right now. So the way we can make this profitable, I think, is by going to cardbear.com. And then yes, it seems like we are able to get a 20% discount buying discounted gift cards for the Gap website. Let's see. I think I've seen this website pop up before and it was a little odd. So at the very least, we can get 18%. Let's see. So they're saying that Amazon might have some discounts there. Not seeing it. Costco actually have these. Yeah, so not exactly sure what's going on there, but we can for sure go in here and buy a $50 gift card for $40.75. And that would make that item profitable, because if we're buying for 10, we need to buy it for $8.66. You can see how getting an almost 20% discount gets us under that max cost. Like I said, I want to sell things more than 6 times a month. So let's go to something that sells a little faster. And yeah, this seems interesting. So it's some kind of like lotion. We need to buy it for $7.70. in order to make our ideal profit, ROI, that kind of thing. Let's see. So I think we've got it from Vitacost here, 8-ounce body lotion. Let's just make sure this is the same thing here. And yeah, so this is 240 milliliters. This is 237. In my mind, that's pretty much, yeah, the title says 236. So I'm not too worried about that. If somebody wants to cause a fuss over 4 milliliters, then I don't know what to tell them. Let's see though. So we will need a way to make this item profitable, because you can see $8.89 is obviously more than the max cost on here. So right now we are making $1.74, which, by the way, this is already including shipping, sales tax, a little bit of money for a box, all that good stuff is already included in my SellerAmp calculation. So if you're wondering about that, I've already got that baked in just so you can see as authentic as possible here. And we actually do have an opportunity to make this item profitable. A lot of websites, if you click like the bottom left or scroll all the way down, you'll be able to punch in your email. And in this case, we can get 20% off. And usually these only apply to like full price items, which this is a full price item. So we're gonna be able to get 20% off just by plugging in our email, which, by the way, you can do this as many times as you want. So I show this a lot, but it's really important. So I'm just gonna show it again. Let's say your email is mark@gmail.com, add a plus and then whatever you want. And then that's going to send the email to whatever's before the plus. So I'll show that again. This is what Vitacost thinks your email is. Gmail knows that whatever's before the plus is actually your email address. So it's gonna send the coupon code there. And I use this to make, literally, I've made 1,000+ coupon codes on a couple of my favorite websites using that. And a lot of times it's the difference between skipping an item and finding a really profitable item, or something especially decent in this case, where you can see we got a great profit, 361, about 50% ROI, sells 200 times a month. This is a really solid item, right? So from here, if you ended up being gated in these products, we just go ahead and submit the order confirmation, tracking number, all that good stuff. Again, if you needed hand holding or anything like that, go back to your AI analysis on Keepa, start asking about, I need some help with ungating, that kind of thing. There's no excuse for staying broke in 2025 when you literally have your own personal assistant that'll help you make money. You can also drop a comment down below if you need any questions answered from me. Not quite as fast as ChatGPT on the responses, but I'm always happy to help. And then one other important thing I will show you to make as much money as possible on this is we can also think about all the extra cash back we can get on these items. So on this item that we already know is profitable, we might as well use, in this case, Mr. Rebates, which I found through Cashback Monitor, showing me the highest cashback rates of the day. These services are completely free to use. And then when I do go into Vitacost, I'm going to get 5% in cash back. So just some extra bonus money to add on top of all the other profit we're already making buying and selling that item. So there's definitely tons of applications for using AI as an Amazon seller. Let me know down below if I missed any of your favorites. There's tons I could jam on here, but those are probably my favorite ways, especially for newer Amazon sellers, to get going. If you watched this far, you're clearly serious about making some money on Amazon. Your next step is going to be to get a 2-week free trial of SellerAmp and Boxem. Those are the softwares you actually need to manage and run your business, as well as actually source all the profitable items. And if you just enjoyed this video and you want to show me some love, completely free, takes 0.2 seconds, hit the subscribe button down below. Help me get that 100K goal here on YouTube. But I really appreciate you watching this video, and if you want to dive deeper into selling on Amazon, click this video right here. It'll be a 4-hour long completely free Amazon course for you.